Hi, this is Miss Cindy. It's been a while since I've done a video, and that's only because, as you know, I start Christmas crafts early, so the past couple of months I've been working on that, and I'm going to take a break to do a video of something that I want to try again. This is an acrylic pour that I have done, I'm going to say 4 or 5 times. And the first time I did it, it came out great. But I haven't been able to duplicate it again. So it's a technique I want to try, but I don't want to mess up a canvas. I think if it comes out good, this will be suffice for what I want to use it for. Anyway, I want to do a napkin pour. And that's where I cut off the bottom of a soda bottle. And I'm going to pour my paint using this. And then I'm going to use a wooden stick. And then I'm going to use a napkin. And I want to keep like a floral arrangement in the center. But it's never come up the way I've seen other people do it. And like I said, I've tried this 4 times. The very first time, it came out great. But it was a do-over on a canvas that I already painted on, and I was experimenting. So I couldn't use that. I couldn't use that one. And then I tried it a couple other times, and it didn't work. So I went to a rummage sale a couple of weeks ago, and I was looking for a project that I could refurbish. And I found this little tray for like 50 cents. So I have my paint. I have my water for the napkin. I have my sandpaper. I have what I'm going to use, the prop that I'm going to use. I've got my gloves. The only thing I don't have sitting here, which I will get, is primer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and sand this down, clean it up real good, and then I'm going to prime it. And then I will come back and I will start the pour, and let's see how it goes. If this pour comes out good, I'm going to resin it. And I think this will probably be the easiest resin job I've ever done, only because I don't have to worry about it dripping anywhere. It already has the sides there. So that would be, this will probably be a fun resin. And I will make sure that I record it, because every time I resin, I keep forgetting to record it. So anyway, I'll be back after I clean this up. Okay, just so you know, this is going to be a second attempt. Let me get some paper towels. Okay. This was sanded, primed, sanded again, and I'm ready to go. And I'm recording this over because, as you can see, this was really white. And I tried to pour, and what happened was my napkin was too thin. So I got a different napkin. The napkin was too thin, so when I peeled it off, half of it stayed on there, and that messed up. So half of the side came out really good, and the other side didn't come out good because I had to actually get that napkin off of there. So we're going to try this one more time, and I'm going to record it, and let's see if it works this time. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my base on, which is 1 part Floetrol, 1 part acrylic paint, and I'm going to spread it on. See, I don't mind messing up something like this. I just didn't want to mess up a canvas. And I can't believe how one side came out so good and the other side didn't. So let's hope this napkin holds. Okay, so let's try this one more time. Okay. I'm going to put this in the middle, and I'm just going to alternate my paints. making sure that it goes down this little dome. And this is just going to be black and white with a hint of metallic silver. There's no rhyme or reason for me when it comes to the colors. These are just the colors I want. There's no rhyme or reason to how much I put on each side because I don't want it to be perfect. So one part could be a little bit darker than the other part. That doesn't matter. This is just an experiment to see if I can do it. And then I'll take a little bit more silver. Okay. So we're going to let that drip. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm just going to turn it a little bit. So now when the paint comes down, it'll be coming in between the leaves that I've already done. Okay, so let's see if you can see. This is what it looks like so far. So now I'm going to take my stick, and with the big ones, I'm going to start from here, and I'm just going to bring it all the way out. Okay, and then with the little ones, I'm going to take it in. And that's only so we can get some color on the inside. Actually, this one here I could take in too. Okay. So the question is, can we keep that? There. This is what it looks like once you finish with your pour and pulling out the ends. And then, like I said, the first napkin fell apart on me. And I really want to pull the napkin up in one piece. So I got a different napkin. This is a little bit bigger. I'm not going to cut it. And it's supposed to lay flat, but because this is a bigger napkin and this is sitting on a tray, some of it's going to be hanging off the side, and I don't know, that may help me. But anyway, I'm just going to put just a little bit of water. I'm just going to squirt. You're just squirting a little bit of water on the napkin. And then you're just going to lay it on there. And then you're just going to press it down very lightly. Doesn't have to stay on there long. Actually, this helps with the shading. Okay, that's it. Here's my corners. When you do this, you pull from the corner to the inside, to the center, corner to the inside, center, corner to the center, and corner to the center. And just pull straight up. Okay. And that came out a whole lot better than the first one I did. So this is what it looks like. And when you use that napkin pour, it gives you like that shading. This is not perfect, but this just gives you an idea of what you can do with the napkin pour. So we're going to go ahead and let this dry. And then I'll come back. If I'm happy with it, I'll resin it. And then I think I'm going to paint the rest of the tray. What color? I don't know yet, but I want to paint it. So this is what you call a napkin pour. And this is what it looks like. And I'll be back after it dries. While that's drying, I wanted to show you that this is the very first one that I did. And this was by accident. This was like a do-over on a canvas. And this will be the third attempt that I was trying to get this floral arrangement. And that's why this has a yellow background, because it has all of the other paint that I had on there. But anyway, this was done by accident. And this is beautiful. And this is what I'm trying to duplicate. And I'm having a really hard time at doing it. So that's the reason why I'm going to try to do it on the tray instead of wasting another canvas. And then, as you can see, I tried it again. I did it on this triangle canvas, and that one's not too bad. I see flaws in it. I would have preferred to have, you know, the lines come out a little bit more, but that shading came out pretty good. And then, as you can see, I just keep trying and keep trying. Here's another one that I've done, and these colors are beautiful, but it's not actually the shape that I want. And then I've done it again over here, and then here, and then here, and then here. So I have been attempting to get this this floral print done, but actually this is the one that I'm trying to get the closest to, because like I said, this was an accident, but it came out perfect for me. So let's wait for that tray to dry and we'll see how it comes out. Okay, I'm back. Have you ever had one of those projects you're doing and it just doesn't go right? Well, that's what happened with this one. I showed you how I did the napkin pour, and then we were waiting for it to dry so that I can paint the edges and resin it. Well, the bottom of the flower, I don't know what happened, but I had a really big black leaf and I didn't like it, so I did it over. Anyway, I did the same method. The only thing I did differently was I changed the order of my colors. So instead of layering it starting with black, I layered it starting with silver. So this is dried now, and that looks a whole lot better than it did before. Then I went ahead and I painted my sides with just a black acrylic paint. I did the back and the front. And when this is completely dry, I'll probably use some polyurethane to cover it up and protect it. So I'm ready to resin. Everybody uses different resin. I use 3 resins, depending on what I'm doing. I use art resin when I'm doing canvases, which I'm out of. But that I usually use first if I have it. This amazing clear cast, this is really good too for resining. And I get this from Michael's. I usually get the bigger bottles, but this works well. It just has a little bit of odor. And then when I'm doing anything that has to do with food, like my coasters or plates or this tray, then I go with the Promarine, the epoxy, the Promarine. And that's only because this is food safe. This is FDA food safe. So that's the one I'm going to use on here. It's one part. Any of the ones you use. And art resin has the best calculator for determining how much resin that you need. So I go online and I give the measurements of what I'm doing. And this is a 12 by 9 and it requires 4 ounces of resin. So that would be 2 parts A, 2 parts B. So I went ahead and got this stirred. This is ready to go. The first thing I did was real important to make sure I use a laser to make sure that a laser leveler to make sure that it's even, because you don't want it to go to either side. And this is even. And then I make sure I have my blowtorch, and that's just to get some of the air bubbles out. So I'm just going to go ahead and get this resined. And then I use this clear scraper just to scrape it and level it out. And this has been mixing for about 2 minutes. Okay. And all I'm going to do is pour it in the center. Yeah, this is going to be my easiest resin. I don't have to worry about, I didn't even tape it. Normally I tape the edges. I didn't have to tape it. I'm just going to let this sit in here. And I'm just going to level it out. I normally don't tilt it, but this I can tilt. Just to make sure it gets in all the corners. Okay, that is about it. I'm kind of sick of this tray. I have one little piece down there. There we go. Okay. So, I think it got all the corners, all the sides. All right. All I'm doing is lightly getting the air bubbles out. And you don't put this too close to the surface. And you may have to do it twice. I usually do it once and then we see if any air bubbles show up. And then we do it again. So right now, this is what it looks like. And we're going to just sit and wait for it to dry. I got a small piece over a little bit over here. I'm not worried about this too much because when I come back and polyurethane it, you won't see it. The polyurethane will just make it shiny. All right, I think we're good to go. I will be back once it dries. Well, we're finally finished with this project. There's one thing that I failed to mention when I resined it, and that was to make sure after you resin anything, make sure it's covered so you don't have any dust or anything on there. So this is just a little contraption that I put together to keep this covered while it dried. So it's been about a day and a half and it's completely finished. And I took my polyurethane and I went ahead and did all the black and polyurethane. So we are actually finished. So there's my little serving tray. It wasn't too hard to do. It was only hard because of the type of the picture that I was trying to get. But you can do this with any acrylic pour. And I may do this again with something different other than this floral arrangement. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. If you get a chance, please subscribe. Give me a likes. And have a great day. Thank you.